you were born successful, and if you're not feeling that you are successful currently, that means that you're not being yourself, or you're not using whatever tool or product or device or method to get to that place of knowing your success, of experiencing that. My program gets you there, so I know that that happens. But let me talk about it, because I'm talking about it in relation to what is happening in our world today as well. So I'm going to tie all this together, because you're here for that reason. You're on the earth for that reason. You are a part of what is happening in the world, and I'm going to explain that. We each are born with something to fulfill. Every single person. There's no one, there are no exceptions. Every single person has that, except we do not always choose to do that. We may form different beliefs about who we are and how the world is, all sorts of things that prevent us from becoming our full selves. I did that, so that's why I can talk about it. I did it most of my life. And we usually give back to the world what we have discovered and what we have come to learn. We don't live forever. You should get that, I guess, right? We don't live forever. So what are we doing? What are we leaving? We each are born to make a contribution to the world, and the contribution that we make will cause the world to become different, to become better, because we're evolving. That's what we're doing. And we're going through that period right now. And that's why you're probably feeling a lot of fear. A lot of people are. They're going through, are we going to die? I don't have that one. I've almost died so many times. I've seen situations in our history where we have been brought to the brink before. I can remember practicing bomb shelters for Russian bombs that might be coming. I remember all of that, so I know. So I'm not afraid of dying. I've almost died many times. And then I'm not afraid of losing things. See, because that I've done many times in my life as well, because then you start to understand, oh, wait a minute. Physical things have nothing to do with who we are. We just use them to try to discover who we are. We just use them to try to create some sort of a status or appearance or whatever, but that's not really being successful, because we always feel that. I was successful at 26. I was. I did things. I left school when I was 19 years old, went out, got a job, kept doing it, and got really good at it. Then I took another one, got really great at that. By 26, I had everything I could have wanted. I had all the money. I'm saying in terms of what most humans think of as success is just having all the money. I had that. But I knew that wasn't all of it. There's something that you have within you that no one else has that you're supposed to develop. And if you were to do that, we would not see what's going on in the world right now. We would not see Russia invading another country. See, we form our worlds through each individual. Every individual, we have energy. We're all energy. The universe, the world is energy. Our energy is what is important. It is what creates anything. If you study science, the great scientists of past knew this. They discovered that everything, you get down, you start seeing quantum physics and mechanics, and you see, oh, wait a minute, everything is just this energy. And we each have control of that, you see, because it's in our thoughts. We don't live out in the world. We live inside. We live in our thoughts. And our thoughts have an electromagnetic quality that produce energy that creates worlds. It creates your life. That's what happens. See, I didn't completely understand that because I actually channeled it, and that's what was weird for me. I received this information and didn't know why. Everyone receives something. We are all intuitive. We're just meant to use it in the thing that we were given to do. And I didn't do that always because I doubted myself. I judged it until I saw that it was real. And now I don't want anybody else to ever go through that. So my life is being devoted to helping more people own who they are, coming to know who they are. Last night, my associate Stan sent me a video, and it was from Lewis Howes, who we all love, and he had several interviews on there. And the first one was John Assaraf. And John he was a great multimillionaire, had all this money, he had done all these things in real estate, and then after he sold that, he goes, wait a minute, there's something else. And so he started studying neuroscience, human behavior, what causes all of this to happen. And then he created his programs. Well, and I'm listening to that video and I go, wait a minute, that's all the stuff my program does as well. But he did it in a different way. I judge myself because I received mine intuitively. You have judged yourself because there's some gift that you have, and I'm saying that because we all have it. There's some gift that you have that you've not been willing to bring to the world. Now, energy. Energy is what creates worlds, and we only have a couple of them to choose from. And that's love or fear. That's really all it is. And so at this time in our world, we can either all go to fear, and then that's a heavy energy and it brings everything down and it causes all those things to occur. Or we can go to love, which is a really lighter fear, a lighter energy, and that's the only thing that stays. You see, that's the only thing that ever stays around in our world. I'm saying that because you know you're not going to live forever. But if you leave your light, if you leave your essence, don't you think the world might be a little bit better? And that's why I had to come on and do this video and send it to you, because I'm making that commitment that I have to do this now. I know for sure that the more people who become willing to own themselves, not only do they have incredible lives and they're happy and receiving everything they want, but we change the world. And not believing that is the thing that has held many of us back. And not believing that is why we're having all the past conditions throughout history that have occurred where so many people decide they're not worth it, and somebody else decides, I'm really worth it. And because these people don't understand that, I'm going to take over. Every single authoritarian ruler, dictator, whatever you might call him in the past, you can see that it's gone on since the beginning of time, because we have a collective energy of the world. We're all contributing to it by what we choose to do in our lives. That's all. And when you begin to own who you are and recognize the brilliance that you have, what's in there, you're putting love into the world just by taking care of yourself. Never understood that. That's what happens. In my program, there's one goal: to have every person come out of that knowing their reason for being in the world, being on the earth, and being here at this time, because it is valid and it's important. And the only thing we do is that we don't understand it. So the reason that this works is because I'm using science. My goal in life, I was told, was to bring together science, spirituality, and human development. And now I'm finding all these other people who are doing the same thing and who are aware of that. But I didn't know that before. I just thought I was doing it by myself, and you may have felt that way as well. But in the program, again, makes the point. You are absolutely perfect. You're absolutely perfect. The only thing you don't have is how to interpret your experiences, how to interpret your life so that you can extract the value there, so that you can become what you wanted to be. You can do the thing that you wanted to do that you've been holding back on, whatever that might be. It's there. And when you start doing that, you become this empowered person, and you're now loving yourself. That's why I've sent out those messages about loving yourself. It's the most important thing any of us could do right now. And that's what's going to help Ukraine. It really is. If you don't understand the universe, study Tesla, study all of those, and you'll see that our energies can become really, really powerful when we decide to use them. I was given information years and years ago, never completely understood it. I always understand it later. And it said focused attention. You can create anything you want in the world when you use your focused attention. And what that means is taking your thoughts and using them purposely, mindfully. This is mindfulness. You can use that, looking at the thing you want to create and focusing on that. That's giving it energy. You have control. You have energy, but we don't stay with it. That's why I created my program the way that I do, because I know you're not going to change in a couple of days. You haven't done that ever. That's why you keep doing all these other things that aren't working. I say you're going to gradually change your brain, because that's the only thing that has prevented you from being fully successful. That was my road, and I know that I'm supposed to give it back to all others. And we will change our world if more and more people decide to own who they are. That's really what it is. Owning who you are, because who you are is perfect. There were no imperfect people ever born. And so if you're feeling that's who you are, you've made a wrong decision. That's all that's happened. I did that for a long time, and that's why I do this work. I can't stand to see people doing that. And when I turned on the news just a little bit, and so you might not want to do that too much. I can see it differently, though, because I have a different perspective on it. However, it brings up my drive, because I saw this little boy, he's probably about 8 or 9. He's walking by himself, completely lost. No one's there. He's left Ukraine, don't know if he's in Poland or where, but he's just lost. A lot of people have been lost. But you could be found quite easily, and all you have to do is decide to do that. I resisted it for a long time. That's why I'm saying this. I know that people will look at me and see what I'm saying, and they go, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to try it. I did that forever. I can tell you all the things that I said, no, that person's just crazy what they're saying, and you can't create a life like that. You can't do any of that. I did it. However, I would tell you now, there's no question about who I am. I know what I'm supposed to do. I don't have any fear. I told you, I wrote the book on fear. I had to go through that. So I don't have that. Nothing. I lost everything, so I'm not afraid of that. And so then I come to, oh, wow, I'm happy. I'm peaceful. That's really what it is. That's what was your life meant to be. The experience of joy, and all of that is within you, and all you have to do is become yourself. I hope you join me in my program, but regardless, what you choose to do, work on you, because that will change our world. All right, see you soon.